We had the same dark hair, but he wore his messy and spiky these days, while mine brushed my shoulders. He had hazel eyes where mine were brown, a rangy build, and our mother's charm. The two of us actually looked more alike than either of us did to our sister, Sarah, who was also Ethan's twin, but the two of them shared the same fiery intensity when they felt passionate about something, be it purple crayons, Van's shoes, or food waste. "Over there," I said to Maggie, tugging on the sleeve of her red plaid jacket and gesturing toward the back wall with my free hand. I had worked late at the library, and Maggie had had a meeting at the artists' co-op that she was part of, which was why we were late joining everyone. "What? Oh, okay," she said, giving her head a shake and turning her attention back to me. I had a feeling she was still thinking about those peacock feathers. As an artist, Maggie could be pretty intense herself sometimes. We were almost at the table when a man tapped Maggie on the shoulder. She turned around to see who it was. "Zach, hi," she said, a smile lighting up her face.
"Hey, Mags, what are you doing here?"
he asked. He had thick brown hair pulled back in a man bun and dark skin. He was wearing jeans and a snug-fitting black t-shirt from the Rolling Stones' Voodoo Lounge tour. His most striking feature was his startlingly deep blue eyes. "Meeting some friends," she said. "Are you working tonight?" Zach nodded, but he'd already turned his attention to me.
"Hi, Maggie's friend," he said with a smile. "I'm Zach Redmond."
"Hi, Zach," I said. "I'm Kathleen." He was cute in a naughty little boy sort of way. My stomach growled then, loudly.
"Aw, didn't anyone feed you today?"
he asked. I kind of missed supper. It had been a busy Friday night at the library. It had been a busy Friday, period.
"Spicy fries," he said, snapping his fingers. "Come up to the bar. I'll take care of you."
He winked and gave me his naughty boy smile again. I smiled back at him. "I'll keep that in mind." He lifted a hand in goodbye to Maggie and headed for the bar, weaving through the crowd. Maggie had been watching our conversation with an amused expression on her face. "Zach is in my yoga class," she said. As well as being an artist, Mags taught yoga and Tai Chi. Her Tai Chi class was where we'd first met. "He's also a big flirt." I nodded. It was hard not to notice that. "He's like a big untrained puppy. Sometimes you have to smack him on the nose with a rolled-up newspaper." I laughed at the mental picture of Maggie at the front of her yoga class with a rolled-up copy of the Mayville Heights Chronicle at her side. Marcus got to his feet as we reached the table, giving me a smile that still made my stomach flutter. Detective Marcus Gordon was tall, with wavy dark hair and blue eyes. What mattered was that he was a good man, ethical, hard-working, kind. I smiled, remembering how Mary had once described him. "He is a good man inside, but that candy shell outside looks pretty dang delicious." I had to admit she was right. Marcus looked around, spotted an empty chair, and gestured to me to take his seat while he went to get the chair. I sat down next to Brady Chapman, as Maggie took the empty seat on the other side of him that he'd somehow managed to save for her. Brady was... I wasn't exactly sure what he was when it came to Maggie. They were more than friends, but they weren't exactly a couple either. I noted the way they smiled at each other, and how their eyes stayed linked a little longer than just friends would. Brady had pale blue eyes and salt and pepper hair he wore clipped short. He liked science fiction, novels and movies, pinball, and a good argument. He'd practiced law in Chicago, but Mayville Heights had eventually called him back home, although he still took cases in Minneapolis, an hour away, from time to time. He was deep in conversation with Ethan at the moment, elbows propped on the table, which was cluttered with glasses and empty plates. Ethan, along with the members of his band, the Flaming Gerbils, Was going to be in Mayville Heights for the next 2 weeks with a 3-night gig in Milwaukee scheduled.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.